Imagine a country. For half the year, the sun never sets. For the other half, darkness reigns. The homeland of Vikings, the center of innovation, and where natural wonders converge. This is Sweden. Sweden imports garbage from other countries to generate energy. Children go to school in minus 20 degrees, but nobody complains. Coffee breaks are almost a sacred ritual. The northern lights perform a mesmerizing dance across the sky. Sweden consistently ranks in the top 10 countries for quality of life in the world. This is where IKEA, Spotify, and ABBA were born. But what this country offers is so much more. Today, we will explore one of the world's most fascinating countries together. Welcome to Sweden. Sweden is the largest country in Northern Europe, with an area of 450,095 square kilometers. It's as big as California, even slightly larger than Morocco. Its length from north to south is 1,574 kilometers. Traveling from the southern tip to the northern edge is as long a journey as driving from London to Rome. Throughout this journey, you discover completely different worlds. In the south, there are rolling hills, agricultural lands, medieval castles, and a mild climate. In the central region lies Stockholm. This magnificent city built on 14 islands is located where Lake Mälaren meets the Baltic Sea. But the real magic begins in the north. The Swedish Lapland region lies above the Arctic Circle. From May to July, the sun never sets. This is called the midnight sun phenomenon. You can play golf at midnight. Children play in parks at 11 p.m. and daylight is constantly present. The sun keeps circling the sky without dipping below the horizon. Winter brings the opposite experience. The polar night begins, but during this period, the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights, appear. The sky undulates in shades of green, purple, and pink. Ancient Vikings believed these lights were messages from the gods. Today, science explains it as solar wind colliding with Earth's atmosphere. But when you watch this magnificent show, the explanation doesn't matter at all. There are over 100,000 lakes in Sweden. Yes, exactly 100,000. Many are so clean, you can drink directly from them. Forests cover 69% of the country, approximately 28 million hectares. In these forests live brown bears, wolves, lynx, moose, and the rare Arctic fox. For a country with just 10.5 million people, Sweden shows incredible success in the field of innovation. Let's look at Swedish inventions that changed the world. The three-point seatbelt was developed by Volvo in 1959. Dynamite was invented by Alfred Nobel in 1867. The adjustable wrench, zipper, pacemaker, Tetra Pak packaging, and Bluetooth technology, all from Sweden. In the digital age, Sweden created Spotify, which completely changed our music listening habits. Skype was developed by Swedish engineers. The best-selling video game of all time, Minecraft, was created by Swedish programmer Marcus Persson. Stockholm is the second city in the world with the most billion-dollar tech companies per capita after Silicon Valley. It produces more unicorn startups than anywhere in Europe relative to population. So why is Sweden so innovative? There are several important factors. First, an excellent education system supported by free university education. Second, high English proficiency. Sweden ranks second globally in this regard. Third, thanks to strong laws protecting workers, people aren't afraid to fail. Fourth, the generous parental leave of 480 days shared between parents. Sweden is also a leader in environmental technology. The country aims for zero net greenhouse gas emissions by 2045. Currently, more than 50% of energy comes from renewable sources. Swedish cities use waste-to-energy plants so efficiently that they import garbage from Norway and the UK to fuel these facilities. There's another remarkable practice. Sweden pays its citizens for recycling. When you take plastic bottles and cans to recycling machines, you receive about 1 or 2 kroner per item. The result? An 84% recycling rate for bottles and cans. Sweden consistently ranks among the world's best countries in terms of quality of life, gender equality, and press freedom. The Swedish welfare system is quite comprehensive. Healthcare is largely covered by the state. A doctor's visit costs approximately 200 kroner, about $18, regardless of the actual cost of the procedure. University education is completely free for Swedish and European Union citizens. Parental leave is 480 days, with 80% of salary paid. This leave is shared between mother and fathers are strongly encouraged to take their share. Gender equality is deeply embedded in Swedish society. Women make up 46% of parliament members. The wage gap between men and women is one of the lowest in the world. Preschools actively work against gender stereotypes, and many use gender-neutral pronouns. Of course, Sweden has its challenges too. Taxes in the country are quite high. Income tax for high earners can reach up to 52%. The cost of living, especially in Stockholm, is quite high. The long dark periods in winter can also be difficult. Swedish cuisine reflects the climate and geography. Köttbullar, Swedish meatballs, are served with lingonberry jam and cream sauce and are quite famous. Gravlax is salmon cured in a special way. Traditionally, it was buried in the ground for fermentation, but today it's kept in the refrigerator. Then there's surströmming, fermented herring, known as the world's smelliest food. The smell is so pungent that cans are usually opened outdoors. Sweden's history is based on over 12,000 years of human settlement. The period most people know is the Viking Age, between 800 and 1050 AD. Swedish Vikings were primarily traders and explorers. They traveled to the Middle East and North America. This happened 500 years before Christopher Columbus. They established trade routes along Russian rivers. They reached Istanbul and Baghdad. The word Russia itself comes from Rus, the name given to Swedish Viking traders. Sweden became a unified kingdom around 970 AD. Between the 16th and 18th centuries, it was a major European power, controlling territories around the Baltic Sea. However, it hasn't been at war since 1814, over 200 years of peace. This makes Sweden one of the world's longest peacetime nations. Swedish culture is shaped around several unique concepts. First is Lagom. It means just the right amount, not too much, not too little. This philosophy reflects in every area of daily life, from work-life balance to home design. No showiness, no extremes, just balance and sustainability. Second is Allemansrätten, the right of public access. This ancient right gives everyone permission to walk in any forest, camp anywhere, even pick berries on private land. The only condition, don't harm nature. This is a constitutional right, showing the Swedes' deep connection with nature. There's also Jantelagen, the law of Jante. This unwritten social code says, don't consider yourself superior to others. It promotes humility and equality. That's why successful Swedes rarely boast about their achievements. Humility is more valuable than self-promotion. What does Sweden teach you? Perhaps that success comes quietly. Perhaps that it's possible to live in harmony with nature. Perhaps that happiness lies not in excess, but in balance. This country shows us that even with a small population, you can change the world. You can build the future while respecting your past. You can be both humble and pioneering. Even where the sun sets at midnight, there is hope. Even in the darkness of the polar night, lights dance. Even at -20 degrees, life continues, even thrives. Sweden is not just a country, it's a life philosophy. Lagom says, be sufficient. Fika says, slow down and connect. Allemansrätten says, nature belongs to everyone. Jantelagen says, stay humble. From Stockholm's islands embracing the sea to Lapland's endless forests, from Spotify's digital world to Nobel's scientific legacy, from the warmth of Kanelbuller to the magic of the Northern Lights. This is Sweden, the homeland of 10.5 million people, 100,000 lakes, 267,000 islands, and endless inspiration. An example the world needs to see, an experience that needs to be lived, a story that needs to be understood. This is not just a Nordic country, this is living proof of how humanity can walk toward a better future.